The night the city froze was the same night her life changed forever. Snow fell in heavy silence over the streets of Brooklyn, covering broken sidewalks, old apartment stairs, and forgotten dreams. It was one of those cruel winter nights where even the wind sounded angry. People rushed home. Shops closed early. The rich disappeared into heated penthouses. But she had nowhere to rush to. Her name was Alina. 22 years old. No family. No money. Just a small job at a diner and a second-hand coat that was barely warm enough to survive the night. She wrapped her thin scarf tighter as she walked past luxury cars parked outside the Grand Monarch Hotel. The glowing golden lights from the entrance felt like a different world, a world that would never open its doors for someone like her. That's when she saw the little girl. Standing near the fountain. Alone. Shivering. The girl couldn't have been older than 7. Her tiny hands were red from the cold. Her expensive dress sparkled under the lights, but she had no coat. No gloves. No protection from the brutal wind. Alina slowed down. Something felt wrong. A child dressed like royalty, standing alone in the freezing snow? She looked around. Bodyguards? Parents? Chauffeur? No one. The girl's lips trembled as she tried to stay strong. But her eyes were scared. Alina didn't think. She stepped forward. "Hey, sweetheart," she said softly. "Where's your mom?" The girl tried to speak, but her teeth were chattering too hard. Alina made a decision in that second that would change everything. Without hesitation, she removed her own coat. The only warm thing she had. She gently wrapped it around the little girl's shoulders. The child looked up at her in surprise. "But you'll be cold," the girl whispered. Alina smiled. "I've handled worse." The girl clung to her as if she had just been saved from drowning. Alina could feel how frozen her tiny body was. "Let's get you inside." But before they could move, a line of black SUVs screeched to a stop. The air shifted. Men in black suits stepped out, scanning the area with sharp, trained eyes. And then he stepped out. Tall. Calm. Dangerous. The kind of man whose presence silenced the wind. The Mafia boss of New York. Victor Romano. His name alone made powerful men nervous. The city called him ruthless. His enemies called him death. But right now, he was just a father. His eyes locked onto the little girl wrapped in a stranger's coat. And then onto Alina. The bodyguards instantly surrounded them. Alina's heart pounded. She realized too late who the child was. This wasn't just any little girl. This was the daughter of Victor Romano. The most feared man in the underworld. One of the guards stepped forward aggressively. "Hands where I can see them." Alina slowly raised her hands. The little girl panicked. "No. She helped me. Papa, she helped me. Papa." The word changed everything. Victor's expression shifted. He walked toward them slowly. Each step heavy. Controlled. He crouched in front of his daughter. "Why were you outside?" His voice was calm, too calm. "I wanted to see the snow," she said, eyes watery. "But I got cold." Victor gently touched the coat wrapped around her. "This isn't yours." The girl shook her head. "She gave it to me." Silence. The wind howled again. Victor stood up and turned toward Alina. She expected anger. Accusation. Threats. Instead, he studied her. Her trembling shoulders. Her thin sweater now exposed to the freezing air. Her shoes worn from years of walking. "You gave her your coat," he said. It wasn't a question. Alina swallowed. She was cold. One of the guards leaned toward Victor and whispered, "Sir, this could be a setup." Victor didn't break eye contact. "If she wanted to hurt my daughter," he said quietly, "she wouldn't have given her warmth." The guard stepped back immediately. Victor removed his own expensive cashmere coat and handed it to Alina. She froze. "I can't take that. That wasn't a request." His tone wasn't harsh. It was final. She hesitated, then accepted it. The coat was heavy. Warm. Probably worth more than everything she owned combined. "Bring her," Victor ordered. Alina's heart stopped. Bring her? Where? Why? She looked at the little girl, who was now smiling softly at her. "Papa, can she come inside? Please?" Victor paused. Then nodded. Alina was escorted inside the Grand Monarch Hotel, not as a criminal, but as a guest. Every person in the lobby stared. They recognized Victor Romano. They also recognized fear. He led her to a private suite on the top floor. Gold chandeliers. Marble floors. Silence. He dismissed everyone except one bodyguard. Then he turned to her. "Why did you help her?" Alina frowned slightly. "Because she needed help. Most people would walk away. I'm not most people." Something flickered in his eyes. Interest. Respect. Maybe something deeper. He poured her hot tea himself. The most feared Mafia boss, serving tea. "You risked your safety for a stranger." "She's not a stranger," Alina said softly. "She's a child." The little girl ran in and hugged Alina again. "Thank you." Victor watched the scene. And for the first time in years, his cold expression softened. "You don't know who I am," he said. "I do," she replied quietly. "And you still helped her?" "Yes." Silence again. The kind of silence that changes destinies. Victor walked toward the window, staring at the snow-covered city below. "You work?" "Yes." "A diner." "You struggle?" She didn't answer. She didn't need to. He turned back to her. "From tonight onward, you won't." Her breath caught. "What?" "You gave my daughter warmth when she was freezing." He stepped closer. "I repay my debts." The room felt smaller. More intense. "You will have a new job." She blinked. "What job?" He looked at his daughter, who was laughing while drinking hot chocolate. "You will work for me." Her heart skipped. "I don't want to be part of." "You misunderstand," he interrupted calmly. "You'll be her guardian." Alina's eyes widened. Her nanny? Her protector. The irony was overwhelming. The Mafia boss choosing a poor diner girl to protect his daughter. Why? Because she gave away her only coat. He extended his hand. "This is not charity. It is trust." And trust from a man like Victor Romano was priceless. Alina looked at his hand. Then at the little girl. Then back at him. Her entire life stood at a crossroads. And she had no idea that accepting this offer would pull her into a world of danger, power, secrets, and a love she never expected. If you want to know what the Mafia boss did next, and how this simple act of kindness turned into something that shocked the entire underworld,